Hey everyone, welcome back to Lori's Boston Found, where thrifted is the new black. My name is Lori. I am a full-time reseller on Poshmark and on eBay. Welcome if you are new to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. I do videos all about reselling, thrifting. I share my journey with you, and I share all of my tips and tricks that I apply to my business and reselling in general. Today is a special video because I am approaching 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is absolutely mind-boggling to me. I'm super appreciative of anybody who has chosen to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. And I wasn't so sure what to do for my 10,000 celebration, so to speak. And I've decided that as I am approaching this milestone, I wanted to celebrate the people in this community who have helped me get to where I am. So I initially said that I was going to incorporate viewers and people in the community and some YouTubers. But what happened was when I started doing my lists, I realized very quickly that this would have been like a 2-hour video, and I have long videos anyways. I decided to focus just on other YouTubers for this particular video because there were just so many people in this community who have inspired me and who are kind of always in the back of my mind when I'm making certain decisions. I will link everybody's information down below. I encourage you to check out all of their channels. A lot of these people you have heard of, and it might surprise you the way that they have inspired me, and some people may be new to you. Before we get started, I just want to let you know that I have a couple announcements that I'm going to make at the end of this video, so be sure to stay tuned if you just want to hear about some news in my business and things you'll be seeing on my channel very soon. And if you enjoy reseller content and you're having a good time, please hit the like button to let me know you're enjoying this video. It really means a lot to me. And consider subscribing. You might be the person that pushes me over to 10,000 subscribers. So there was really one clear person who inspired my journey in the beginning, and that was Jenna from Empty Hanger. Jenna is the one who I really studied. I watched all of her videos. I looked at how she did her inventory. I looked at supplies that she bought for her business. I bought my Jiffy steamer, which I absolutely love because of Jenna. I realized how I could order boxes for free from USPS because she used to use their, or she probably still does, use their shoe boxes, as many of us do. So she was somebody who I really studied, and I truly think that I just wouldn't be here without Jenna's videos to kind of give me the nuts and bolts. I don't really know Jenna personally. We've definitely gone back and forth a couple times in DMs, but I think Jenna is a pretty private person. And she hasn't been on YouTube very much, which is crazy because in 2018, when I started my reselling journey, she was making videos very consistently. So I loved Jenna. Thank you, Jenna, for all of your contributions. I think one of the things that stands out the most with Jenna's business currently, her current business model, is that she has a highly curated closet. I don't, but I love that she is so focused in her business, and I do envy that sometimes. Like sometimes I wish I could say no to things more frequently and just kind of stay the course. The next person I want to mention is somebody local in my community. Her name is Brittany, and her YouTube channel is Shop Foxborough. She really specializes in vintage items, but what you're gonna see in this video is that it's not always what the people sell or things like that that have inspired me. There are little tidbits that I have pulled from all of these different YouTubers and people that I'm mentioning. So funny enough, Brittany has inspired me to put my inventory away when I'm in the moment. It wasn't in a video that she shared. It wasn't in an Instagram post. She commented on my video where I was talking about how I had a huge pile of clothing that had been recorded. I had done my measurements, I had done everything, and then I just put them in a pile, and I had like 55, 60 items that hadn't been put away. One of the comments she made, it was very simple. She just said, I always do my inventory in the moment because it's one less time I have to touch that item. And for whatever reason, that resonates with me all the time, because you figure when you're listing your items, you've put so much love into depilling, getting all the lint off, steaming it, measuring it, right after you take that picture, it's probably the best condition that item is going to be in. So to just toss it into a basket and then it gets wrinkled again, and then the dog walks by it and there's hair on it or whatever it is, I think of that all the time. So right after I do pictures, I have to say, it was a recent comment, but I feel like it's changed my business. Now I'm like, how many more times do I want to touch this item? Put it away now. The exception for that would be if I'm doing a haul, and sometimes there's a little back and forth between items that I've listed already, and then they kind of go back into a pile for when I'm doing hauls. But anyways, thank you, Brittany. That is such a great tip that I will take with me forever. So some of the stuff that I'm going to mention is going to be tips like that. Other things are going to be life philosophies. Other things are going to be products. So there's really no rhyme or reason. It's just a little takeaway from all of these different YouTubers. Next up is Courtney from Common Tags. Love this girl. Love you, Courtney. Courtney is a dear friend and a mentor to me. Way back when, as many of you may or may not know, Courtney mentioned me and gave me a little shout out in one of her videos for YouTubers that she was enjoying. And I had no idea that she had ever watched a video of mine. At the time, I probably had about 40 subscribers. I've told this story many times, but when she gave me the shout out, I started to gain a little momentum. And I was totally blown away. But one of the things that Courtney said in that video is people that she subscribed to were people who didn't make claims about stuff or talk about things in terms of this is right and this is wrong. And that was why she chose the people she chose in that video. One of the reasons, not all of the reasons. But that always stuck with me. And my hope is that on my YouTube channel that I don't make claims. I always look at myself as a case study and not a statistic type of person. So when I got my master's in special education out in San Francisco, and I remember when we were given the opportunity to do either a thesis paper or a case study, I was like all over the case study. I'm not a huge stats girl, which is why I need people like Sarah Stiles in my life, because she is a data person and she is also someone on YouTube who inspires me with her data. She's always in the back of my mind, like, know your data, Lori. It's not my strong suit. But anyways, I always think of my channel as more like a case study. Like, this is what works for me. This is what I have found to be productive, not productive, successful, not successful. And Courtney has for a long time been in the back of my mind because I too relate better to the people who don't make claims like, don't ever buy the dresses from this brand because they don't sell. Maybe they don't sell for me, but maybe they're going to sell for you. Or I never pick up mall brands. Some people have made their whole business off of mall brands. So I really hope that I don't. And I make a conscious effort to never say that what I do in my business is a one-size-fits-all model. Because the beauty of all these people that I'm talking about on YouTube is that we all do things differently. And that's what makes things interesting. So thank you for that, Courtney. I think about that all the time. And speaking of success with mall brands, this brings me to two channels in particular who have inspired me to not be a snob about what I pick up, to not generalize certain things. Again, certain things may work for me better than others, but two channels in particular, and I'm going to mention Becky Park here and the Bin Pickers. Two channels who in large part have based their business around the majority of their items being mall brands. Sometimes I watch the Bin Pickers, Michelle and G, I love them, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe that they sold that item for $6, or I can't believe that went out to auction and they only made $8 on that. I would have listed that for $35. And I'll think that in my head. And then at the end of the video, Michelle always gives the numbers because they shop strictly at the Goodwill outlet, which is where you pay by the pound. So they know their cost of goods based on how much stuff weighs. So that is exclusively, for the most part, where they do their sourcing. And at the end of the video, Michelle will just be like, so, over the weekend, we made $1,600 on eBay. And I'm always blown away because those little numbers really add up. And here I am sometimes countering offers because I want $5 more. And then it just sits in my closet. I try not to do that so much anymore. But then, you know, people are killing it, taking some lower offers and just moving that product. And Becky Park is the same way. Becky has had that big gig with that consignment store where she's gotten a lot of bread and butter brands, and she is kicking butt with that consignment store. And I just love how down to earth Becky and the Bin Pickers are. Becky puts out a variety of content, and I've learned so much from Becky, not just about mall brands, so much more. She's super consistent, and shout out to Becky, who is also a full-time mom and choir teacher. So I don't know how she does it. She has little kids and works full-time. So, oh my gosh, Becky, you're amazing. Okay, next I want to mention my friend Blake. Posh Boss Blake. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. And what I want to mention about Blake is before I knew anything about him, I knew that he sang in his videos. And I knew he had this killer smile and he had such a presence on the camera. And I didn't know if he knew how to source. I didn't know if he knew brands. And I don't even remember the first time I saw his video. Courtney may have mentioned Blake as well. I don't even remember where I started watching him. But he does all of his intros and he sings and he's like, welcome back to my channel, or his famous song, Into the Kitchen. And he sings. And I was so drawn to Blake because he sang. I knew nothing else about him. And so what I learned from Blake is you have to be true to yourself and do something to stand out a little bit. I don't really know what I do to stand out. People are so drawn to Blake because of his personality, and I think about that a lot in my own content and in life in general. Be true to yourself and don't be afraid to sing on camera. I mean, he kind of has a good voice too, so he's got that going for him. So it's funny what draws people into your personality in life, on YouTube, if you're trying to have a presence on Instagram, whatever it is, don't be afraid to stand out, because sometimes standing out, FedEx guys. It wouldn't be one of my videos if the dogs didn't bark and interrupt me. Blake also introduced me to Hulkin bags, which are these tremendous bags that are on wheels. Picture like a sturdier version of an IKEA bag that is on wheels and super durable in a variety of sizes. And he is an ambassador for them, and I absolutely love my Hulkin bag. Hulkin was also one of the sponsors for Posh Fest. So you saw Blake and you saw Ryan from Jack and Ryan and Nicole State. They are all ambassadors, and they had a great little piece during Posh Fest promoting Hulkin bags. Somebody else who isn't on YouTube as much anymore, but was a huge part of inspiring me and really teaching me brands. This is who I got a lot of brand knowledge from, and that is Savannah, who is street savvy on YouTube. She just had a beautiful baby boy, and he is just so damn cute. She hasn't been doing very many videos. She has gotten married and she had a baby, but she lives in Denver, and she used to have these incredible hauls. Like, I would literally refresh YouTube daily to just see if Savannah had a new haul, because I was obsessed with learning brands from her, and I still love it when she posts a haul. And Savannah is also like no bells and whistles. She's very straightforward. She goes to the bins, she shows you stuff right out of the bag, and I really appreciate that. So I learned a lot from Savannah about brands. Okay, so I just mentioned Nicole State. What I learned from Nicole State is that you have to have thick skin on YouTube. Nicole has been on YouTube for a long time, and I have watched many of her hauls, and I actually have learned a lot. But specifically, what I think my takeaway is with Nicole is you have to be a fighter and you have to keep showing up. I feel like she has been under the microscope for many years, and she's had some highs and she's had some lows, like we all do, but I think hers have all been very public on YouTube. And I just really admire that she is a fighter. She's scrappy, she figures out a way to survive, and she's killing it. She has a new videographer right now. She just released a course. It's pretty exciting to see her business grow and to see her grow as a person. I feel like I have had a pretty easy path as far as very supportive parents, a supportive husband. I've been pretty lucky. And so when I see people who have really overcome a lot of odds, I'm pretty inspired by that. And someone else in that same light who has very few subscribers on YouTube, but is equally inspiring to me, is a woman named Jackie. Jackie is somebody who I worked with during my coaching sessions, and we had a one-on-one, and she really made an impact on me. I've shared her Instagram account once on Instagram. I've shared a post that she's done. Jackie is a recovering addict. I don't even know the right way to say it. Jackie has been clean for many years, but she battled drug addiction for a very long time, severe drug addiction. And I love that she has been a fighter, and she has made real conscious efforts to get things back on track. And she is so candid, and she shares stories on her YouTube channel that I can't even get my head around. And she does it in such a calm, matter-of-fact way. She wants to help other people who maybe have struggled with substance abuse, who are looking for a second chance. And I love that reselling gives people a second chance. I love that you might be a person who is down and out, who is out of work or whatever, but if you're willing to work hard, you can really make it. And I think that is so exciting. And I also think that is what makes our community so vibrant, because there are so many types of people. I feel like I'm pretty basic in this community as far as like my background goes, but there are people who I've met with just some incredible stories, and they're very inspiring to me. Jackie's channel is called Gifted Afflicted, and as is her Instagram account. So it's pretty heavy. Some of her stuff is really heavy. I feel like she has found a way to really make things work for her. She's artistic. She has a great eye for style. She also does things on Etsy. She has a little boy. She works out. So her journey to me has been really fascinating. So keep up the good work, Jackie. One of my favorite YouTubers for learning how to grow on YouTube is Cathrin Manning. She is a huge success story. Somebody who started out as a blogger who has grown her channel like you would not believe. I look at like, oh yay, I'm almost at 10,000. And she went from like 400 to 200,000 in a year. Mind blown, maybe 18 months. She's so much fun. She really shares every little bit of information. Vanessa Lau is another person on YouTube who I really admire, and Sunny Lenarduzzi, am I saying that right? Sunny's great too. Those three women are the women I follow the most when looking into how to grow my YouTube channel. But I think that Cathrin is just like the girl next door, and she is somebody that I really watch consistently. Weekly, I watch her stuff that comes out. She also just started a vlog channel, so she kind of talks about just like getting started from scratch. And I've just learned a ton from her as far as SEO search and growing my channel and all that stuff. And also on a more personal level, my podcast partner, Daniela, has taught me a lot about search engine optimization and all that stuff that I don't even think I tagged my Instagram posts until Daniela and I started doing the podcast almost a year ago. It was just not something I focused on, and Daniela actually is really into it, and she's taught me a lot about that too. Cathrin is also an expert on Pinterest, and that is an area that I really want to get into. What I'm learning about myself as I go forward is that I like to tap into my creative side. Since I've become a passion planner ambassador, it's really just kind of unlocked some of the creativity that I feel like I haven't really been working on lately. The next person who I want to talk about, most of you will follow her on Instagram, and she is the Modern Beat. Her name is Mira. She is a good friend of mine. She lives up in Maine. She used to live in Western Mass. And what I want to say about Mira is, God, that girl just puts herself out there. She's funny. She's got a foul mouth that I love and appreciate. What I love about Mira is that we have really seen her journey as a reseller evolve. I remember, so what she does, let me just say, she does a ton of stories. That is what, to me, what Mira is known for. So she will head out to the bins in the morning, and you just hear her stream of conscience all day long. You hear songs in her head that she's singing. You hear what she thinks about her bangs that day, how much sleep she got that night. Like, I kill so much time watching Mira. She is like entertainment, escape, and knowledge all at once. What I want to focus on in this video is just to not be afraid to let your business go in a direction you may not have expected. I really never expected my reselling business to turn into a YouTube channel. Now my time is equally divided between YouTube and reselling, and I don't know, like, do I want to add more to YouTube? Do I want to add more to reselling? I'm just kind of letting things take me where they will. And Mira is a great example of somebody who started out as a more traditional reseller and then quickly realized she liked shopping more than anything, which I think a lot of us do, but she figured out a way to make that work for her business. So she literally sets up a station in the back of her little car, and she has boxes, and she comes from the bins, and she has, like, you have to watch her story. She has like a shelf, she has her Doc Marten cleaner, she has baby wipes all ready to go. And she cleans things in between rotations at the bins and puts them directly into a box to send to ThredUp. Like, the stuff never even walks through her door sometimes at home. She also works with a vintage seller. And it started where she was out and she was like, God, like, this won't really sell on Poshmark, but I know somebody would love this. So she started in her Instagram stories saying stuff like, if anybody wants this, like, you can have it for $10 and I'll just send it to you. She also taught me about pirate shipping. I'd never heard about pirate ship or never really knew how to do it until I saw Mira talk about it and say how easy it was. And pirate ship is something that I use as an alternative to PayPal shipping or sometimes even eBay shipping. They give really good rates and they're just super easy and it's free, and I love pirate ship, and I heard about that from Mira. But I saw her kind of start out that way and then shift her model to basically, I'm sure she still lists a few things on Poshmark, but she does a ton of her business just sending stuff to ThredUp, and she has so much fun. Every time I watch Mira, I wish I was at the bins. Every time. And Mira, I'm gonna come visit you very soon. It's on my list. Probably late October, early November. I'm gonna make the trip back to Maine and go to those bins because it's been too long, and she is so much fun. So I love what Mira has taught me is to just let your business kind of go in the direction that it might be taking you. Follow what makes you happy and keep doing more of that, and then your business is going to grow. Like, I think she is loving life right now doing what she's doing. So she's an inspiration. Thank you, Mira. Two people who remind me all the time that it's never too late to kind of do what you love are Cathrin from Lavender Clothesline and Leslie from A Reseller's Passion. Both women older than me, in their 50s. I think Cathrin just turned 60. It's just never too late. I had a lot of preconceived notions about who would be successful on YouTube when I got started, or just even with reselling. Like, am I gonna pick out things that are relevant right now? And what you realize is there's actually an age group, wherever you are, there are thousands and millions of people at that same phase of life. So maybe we don't appeal to the 25-year-olds, but there are plenty of people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who can relate to us, and maybe even some people in their 30s who still enjoy our content. So everybody has something to share, and it's never too late. And that's what I learned from those two lovely ladies. So thank you very much. You guys inspire me all the time. Okay, next up. Do your own research. Somebody who says this all the time and who I've been following for years and who is a friend of mine is Denali, El Ducho Thrift. A lot of times she's just like, Google is your friend, look it up online. She's been doing pallets and liquidation wholesale right now, and it's buzzing in the community. I mean, in general, I think since the pandemic, doing wholesale liquidation and getting pallets has become a way for people to source and not leave their house. And there are a ton of questions around it, and there's a ton of interest. But what I've learned from Denali, and I've applied it to different parts of my business, is that you really have to do the research for yourself. There are the people out there on YouTube, on Instagram, who can help guide you, who can kind of share their stories with you, who can motivate you, who can tell you what works for them, what doesn't work for them. But really, at the end of the day, if you want to be successful, whether it be through reselling or YouTube or growing your Instagram or whatever it is, whether you want to be a successful artist or florist, whatever it is, you have to put the work in. And I'm saying this to myself. I'm not like preaching it to you, because I am sure I have asked other YouTubers questions back in the beginning that I could have figured out myself. And that's not to say that we don't love interacting with people. It's just to say that I learn the most when I actually dig in and do stuff for myself. Like I have been right now working on my website and I am desperate for someone to come and hold my hand. And the truth of the matter is people have given me little tidbits and sent me in the right direction. But unless I want to pay someone to do it, no one's going to sit with me and update my website. I have to do it on my own or I have to pay for it. So I have been struggling through that. I struggled through iMovie. I watched 1,000 YouTube videos on it. I struggled using my Canon M50 that I'm now filming on. But at the end of the day, we just need to do the research on our own. And I actually find that I have grown more from that, even with my own DMs. If I get somebody who asks me like a quick question, like, what's that balm you put on your shoes? I'm like, oh, Doc Martin, it's awesome. Send it off to them. Or somebody will say, what's the name of that photo app that you mentioned that gets rid of the background? And I'll say, oh, Photo Room. Those questions, oh my gosh, I'll answer those all day long. I don't mind. But I get novels, like bullet point questions that just go down the list. And I get so overwhelmed by those sometimes because I want to interact with people. And I see it happening right now with Denali and her palettes. Like, I don't know how many times she has to say, Google it. But like, she has invested thousands and thousands of dollars into her palette and liquidation business, and nobody really wants to share their secrets. So, and it's not even like it's really secrets. Everything that she has had access to, we have had access to. So I just like to keep that in mind when I'm doing my own research. Can I figure this out before I ask somebody? So I don't know. I don't want that to come off the wrong way at all. And Denali has taught me so much more than that. She has shown up for so many things. Denali takes a lot of risks. She started her podcast. She did liquidation. Like, she doesn't stop. So I don't know if Denali would be my go-to person for work-life balance, but I so relate to her because I have a really hard time shutting off my job. I have a really hard time. And I'm married to a Libra who is all about the scales and balance. And I think they coined, my husband at work, they call it Tata time. Our last name's Tata, if you didn't know, because he is the guy who like just shuts his computer off and he can turn it off and he can go home. And he is one of the most disciplined, productive people I have ever known in my life. Yet he does it all with boundaries all around him. I don't know how he does it. I suck at it. I sleep with my phone by my bed, which I'm working on not doing, but I am not good at work-life balance. So yeah, I kind of look to Jay as my compass for that. So thank you, Denali, for all you've done. All right, I want to mention my friend Hope, who is Rags to Riches. And I'm sorry if a lot of these names that I'm sharing you guys have heard me talk about before, but these are truly the people who have kind of like helped me with my journey. So Hope introduced me to Photo Room. So this is like a little product thing. And that has been such a game changer for me. We shared a video and we collaborated when she was up from Indiana. We decided to reach out to the creators of that app, and they are based in France. And we literally messaged them before we went live and recorded our video, and they messaged us back and we became affiliates. And it's just been so awesome. And the thing I love the most about Photo Room, and it is a free app, I just want to say that. If you download the app, it is free, but you can only do single photos and you have their watermark on your pictures, which is really not a big deal. But if you want to take it to the next level, they do have a pro series, which I have and I love because I can edit, I can batch edit. But the thing that I love about it the most is that I can take a picture of something on a table with tons of junk around it. And as long as it's not touching anything, like if I wanted to take this Polar Yeti Seltzer. You guys like Polar people? Polar Seltzer is a local company. They're out of Worcester, Mass, and I love their seltzer. They always do these little limited edition. They have this like series with like unicorns and Yeti, fictional fantasy characters. So this is Yeti Mischief, and it's very good. I could have this on my table surrounded by junk and take a picture of it and press one button on Photo Room app and it gets rid of the entire background. So I love this app and Hope introduced me to it. So thank you, Hope. Thank you so much. Hope in general is just somebody who makes me smile like a Blake. She is so true to herself. She makes me laugh. She starts her intros with like, I hope you can't tell that I'm not wearing a bra right now. Like, she's so funny. She just doesn't take herself too seriously. She inspires me to be funny. Because again, I'm not funny. I want to be funny. Take chances and just stay true to who you are. She's another person. Love you, Hope. The next person I want to mention is actually really big on YouTube, but I really love her video and I relate to it very much. Her name is Carrie Dayton, and she's been on YouTube for some time, but she specializes in clothing and fashion and thrifting for mid-sized women. And I love that. I've been a mid-sized woman my whole life. I've been pretty much a size 10 to 14, probably a 16. I just will buy an extra large instead of buying the number 16. Does anybody else do that? But I've always been like a mid-sized body. And I feel like there's, all of the media for people who are smaller figures. And then there's actually a lot of love and support around the plus size community, which is great. But I do feel like as a mid-sized person, there are certain styles that I can't wear, but I may not be here. It was just like a really interesting niche. And so when I started watching Carrie's videos, I really related to her journey as somebody who has been mid-sized my whole life. Carrie is really fun. She does a ton of try-ons. She'll try on like bike shorts from 12 different brands. And so she does a lot of the work for you. She's very body positive, which I love. She's funny. She has a vlog channel. She just moved from LA to Arizona. She's just like a fun person who I really enjoy watching, me and like 1,000 million other people. Another person who I admire artistically on YouTube is super young. She's Anthony's age and she has, hundreds of thousands of followers. She is best dressed and she started out like doing like lookbooks and things like that. And now she lives in Manhattan and she's just so artsy. I love how she shoots her videos. I love the music she uses. I love like that she uses Procreate and does like all sorts of fun things, like all the little nuances about YouTube that I aspire to get to someday. Best Dressed has it nailed. She's really bright and super interesting, and I'm just so impressed that she has done so much at the ripe age of like 21. I think she's 21. But those are two really big accounts that I love. Some people who I just think are generally so sweet in our community, and I just think they are kind, and I am drawn to them for that reason alone. They could talk about anything, and I just think they're really nice people, but they also happen to be great resellers as well. So some of the people that really stick out when I think of people who are just so nice is Mackenzie from McThriftZ, who is also like just beautiful and talented and low-key and knowledgeable, and I love seeing what she picks up. And also the Quenby from The Grateful Queen, just such a nice, sweet person, always looking to connect with others and lift other people up. And she just ventured out and started a second channel, The Grateful Therapist, because she is a therapist, and I'm so happy she did that. And then Carly from The Poetry of Nice, sweetest person. I love Carly. Carly is just that, the poetry of nice. She named herself well. She's so sweet. I love that, she dabbles in some vintage stuff. She loves Disney. She loves yard sales and rummage sales. Her cost of goods are really low. And she's just a really kind person, and I really enjoy her channel as well. One of the things that I say to my kids all the time is that you get what you give. And, I say that like with a sport, if they're not really practicing, well, you get what you give if you didn't start for that sport or whatever it is, or if they do really well on a paper and I'm like, well, you really put a lot into it, so you got a lot out of that and you got a good grade or you learned from it or whatever. And I feel that way in life in general. It's one of my favorite quotes. I really do believe in kindness, and I really do believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt. There are probably so many more people who I could mention in this video. I say all the time that I learn from somebody with every video I watch. Even if I learn things that I don't want to do on my channel or in my reselling business, I feel like I always take something away from every person I see. I really feel like people in this community have helped shape me, and most importantly, my viewers here on YouTube, thank you so much for showing up all the time for my videos. You know who you are, the people who are always commenting, who are encouraging me, who, tell me things are okay if I've slipped up or had a bad day. I feel like my reselling community on YouTube is so special. Thank you so much for pushing me closer to 10,000 subscribers. I'm so excited for the next part of this journey. I do plan on doing a follow-up video at some point with things I've learned from my viewers, because I have learned so much. But thank you guys all so much. Okay, so some quick announcements. This week I am releasing my Back Bay collection. So one of the things, and this kind of circles back a little bit to Jenna, She has this beautiful curated closet. I really admire people with curated closets, and I also mentioned how I've been wanting to tap into like my more creative side recently. So I decided that quarterly I am going to do a collection inspired by the iconic neighborhoods of Boston. So I'm really excited for this project. My first one is coming out this week, either Monday or Tuesday. I don't want to commit to a date because I don't want to stress myself out. I don't want to rush it, but all it is a collection of, I'm aiming for 40 pieces that will be on my website, lorisbostonfound.com. And they are all going to be items that are $50 or under, and shipping should be $4.99. I have to make sure that's set up properly in my Shopify store. This drop is going to be Back Bay. So the Back Bay is an area of Boston that I grew up going to. It's where Copley Plaza is. It's where the Boston Public Library is. The Prudential Building, the Westin Hotel. I've been to weddings there. When I worked at American Girl, we used to catch the duck tours in front of the Prudential Building. It's just like the center of Boston where a lot happens. A lot of tourists are there. And also within the Back Bay are shops and a lot of the stores that I like to source for my business, like Madewell and Aritzia and places like that. So that was my inspiration. I think I have enough to do 2 years worth of neighborhoods. I want to do the North End, I want to do the South End, I want to do Southie, like Cambridge, Jamaica Plain. There are so many great personalities and neighborhoods in Boston. I'd like to release these every quarter, so I'm looking to do 4 a year. So there are going to be 40 items, mostly clothing. I want to have like at least 75% is going to be clothing, but then I have a couple home goods, some jewelry, some accessories, some shoes. That's going to be released this week, and I'm really excited about that. The second thing is I'm doing my October challenge, which is more a challenge for myself, but anybody who wants to hop on board with me is welcome to do that and just check in with me on Instagram. I am doing a cross-post challenge for myself where I'm cross-listing 7 items every single day to eBay. Sometimes I do more than that. It goes really quickly. I'm finding that I'm doing more like 8 or 9 or 10, but 7 is my number. 7 was my number for Thriftless February where I wanted to list 7 a day. I'm doing about 50 items a week, and in the month, I hope to get to 200 new listings on eBay. So I feel like it's a modest goal, but it's something I'm doing every day, and I'm going to report my results on how it changed my eBay business next month and how my sales increased or were affected by it. So looking forward to that. Also, I'm back into coaching. I'm doing coaching and closet consultations once a week on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. You can sign up through my website. It's $50 for a 45-minute consultation. You have to fill out a form beforehand. I do a closet review before we talk, and then we do a Zoom chat for 45 minutes. We can talk about your closet. We can talk about the growth you want. There's a questionnaire that you fill out for me that really helps me in guiding you. There have been some people who have asked about it, and I wasn't doing coaching in the summer, so I just opened it up. You can go on my website and sign up, so I wanted to mention that. Okay, so we have those to look forward to. The Back Bay collection on my website, LORIBOSTONFOUND, my October cross-posting challenge, and an update on my coaching. Thank you so much to every one of the creators I mentioned today who have really inspired my work and guided me through my journey. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. I might hit 10,000 this week. Who knows? Whenever I hit it, I'm really excited. And I appreciate everyone in this community who has helped me on this journey. I just want you to all know how much you all mean to me. I am going to do my Boston collection via a YouTube video. I was thinking about doing it on Instagram, but I'm gonna do a YouTube video, and I'll piggyback some stuff on Instagram. So be looking for that. Love you guys, and I will see you soon.